So Gina could paint the picture that like everything was consenting because she's been paid off.
And this is the one that disappeared, right?
Yeah, this is the one who disappeared. This is the one who they could get her. There's nowhere she could go that the federal government, if they want you, that you can't be got. You understand what I'm saying? If the federal government wants you that bad, you'll be gotten, bro. There's too much technology, photo imaging. There's nowhere she could go.
Ellen DeGeneres and her wife, Portia de Rossi, have reportedly fled the US, bound for the UK.
Any word of advice to the Hollywood celebrities? Some of them, we're pretty close friends of Diddy, who seemingly are fleeing the nation, never to return. Ellen DeGeneres is one who called P. Diddy, Cuddle McSnuggle. We actually have the tweet. I think with Killer Klein, we have the tweet. Yeah, we have the tweet. She's gone. According to her publicist, she's never returning. There seems to be a pretty amazing overlay of people who are associates with Jeffrey Epstein or Diddy who happen to have now fled the country.
As Sean Combs' high-profile federal trial moves into its second week, an unusual pattern is emerging behind the scenes. Celebrities who were once constantly by his side, seen at parties, in photos, and referenced in music, have suddenly disappeared, with reports of overseas travel, disconnected phones, and complete silence. Former Bad Boy security chief Gandil, who knew Combs long before his rise to fame and multiple name changes, is now speaking out more forcefully, claiming he understands the reason for their absence. Having witnessed his transformation from the early days, Deal alleges that the public image never matched the reality, insisting he has warned for years about troubling behavior, hidden power dynamics, and a darker side of the industry that went ignored. Now, as court proceedings begin to reveal long-suppressed details, he shares claims that several powerful figures in Hollywood and hip-hop have gone into hiding, either due to involvement or knowledge, adding that while authorities could locate them, fear or possible influence may be keeping them from coming forward.
So she testified that to the abuse, but also testified that the people who was involved, who came to always to clear his from the company. He uses employees to cover up his wrongdoings. KK, D-Rock, George. So that's what she testified to. And she did a great job.
Yeah, that's sad, man. Like if he did all that, man, that's perfect.
Bruh, it's more to come, bruh. Because what the prosecution or the defense trying to do, the defense is trying to, you still got Gina, and the prosecution or the defense was trying to tell the prosecution, well, she's not a witness. She's not a witness. They want the prosecution to hurry up to bring Gina in so Gina could paint the picture that like everything was consenting because she's been paid off.
And this is the one that disappeared.
Yeah, this is the one who disappeared. This is the one who they could get her. There's nowhere she could go that the federal government, if they want you, that you can't be got. You understand what I'm saying? If the federal government wants you that bad, you'll be gotten, bro. There's too much technology, photo imaging. There's nowhere she could go. She Asian, you know what I'm saying, half Asian or whatever like that. She might like Chinese food, rice or whatever like that. She gotta go somewhere to get something to eat. You know what I mean? It's crazy, bro. So now she come and she testified in behalf of Diddy. They want the prosecution to bring her in. They know she's a hostile witness. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to be here, this, that, and other. She made a post, I'd rather be at Chanel and all this other stuff like that. That's the girl who took off the payment. She took the $2 million payment from Diddy and them when she got on Tasha K. I think Diddy may have gave her $2 million or something like that. Got her in school, gave her an apartment out in LA, still was messing with him. Come on, man. Brainwashed. But she did talk to the federal government. They do have emails and everything from her and her lawyer. So she had to be somewhat involved in that. You understand? It's a lot of stuff. They said they got 6 more weeks of testimony. So they're going to start bringing in it, and they're going to keep tying this RICO. They're going to keep tying this racketeering because they are now ready to take down Combs Global. Tie that to Bad Boy and show where is that he's using his money and using his funds to do criminal business. Does that mean they're going?
At the top of Gandiel's list of sudden disappearances is an unexpected name, Ellen DeGeneres, the once beloved daytime TV star known for her dancing and smiling persona, who seemingly vanished from the public eye, allegedly relocating to the UK just as Sean Combs' trial intensifies. Speculation has grown due to long-shared celebrity circles between them, prompting questions about what Ellen might have been involved in behind closed Hollywood doors. Adding a darker layer is her late ex, Anne Hedda, who died under suspicious circumstances in 2022 while reportedly working on a documentary about trafficking that could have exposed high-profile industry figures. Some believe both Ellen and Combs were implicated. Now, as court revelations unfold, Sindon observers are left questioning whether this is mere coincidence or the beginning of a decades-long cover-up finally unraveling.
This video showing the woman on a stretcher flailing and, according to neighbors, screaming at the time. Authorities say she suffered burns and was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
This car crash was one of those instances where we all remember parts of it because it was such a weird thing to watch in real time. Because they kept telling us that the driver of this vehicle didn't survive, but then we see Anne actually rip herself out of the body bag while they're trying to load her in the back of the ambulance. Again, on live TV, so they can't cut that out. Just for them to later come back and say, oh, well, they had to sedate her in the ambulance and she didn't make it once she made it to the hospital, which was weird. For them to find out it's a famous actress who at the time was filming a documentary on human trafficking, which they downplayed the human trafficking documentary at the time, because again, this was 3 years ago. But everyone knew who Anne had been dating for years at the time, which was Ellen DeGeneres. Although they were broken up, Ellen had moved on to someone else. There was a weird connection between Ellen and Diddy. Not only has Ellen had Diddy on her TV show multiple times, but Ellen also had this really weird nickname for Diddy that they try to not talk about anymore. But anytime you hear it, it's the weirdest cuddle, mix, snuggle stuff. And if that's not weird enough, if the documentary that Anne was doing at the time wasn't weird enough, everything Ellen has said to distance herself from the crazy celebrities like Diddy that she has been known to be friends with, the fact that Diddy got arrested in September, and then it took us over a month to finally get all of the charges, in the same month that they listed all of the charges Diddy was being arrested for, Ellen moves to the UK. Not only does she move to a different country, she almost seems to be going into hiding, because now the only pictures we get of her are these super grainy pictures where she literally has cut and dyed her hair. That's right, Ellen DeGeneres no longer has the blonde hair that she is literally known for. She is changing her appearance and her looks in the United Kingdom. What is she saying her reason for leaving is because of Trump? But if you look at the timeline of her leaving, this was a few years after her ex-partner passed away, and the same time Diddy is starting to get in trouble for all of the horrendous things he's been doing. Maybe I'm reaching with all of this Ellen DeGeneres lore, but this, along with Ellen's history with Diddy, the super weird nickname, the documentary Anne was making, the timeline in which Ellen leaves the country and then changes her appearance, just screams to me guilty of something.
In a chilling video recorded a year before her death, Anne Heck openly claimed that Ellen DeGeneres had allegedly blocked her from Hollywood, using her influence to prevent her from getting roles, bookings, or callbacks after their breakup, raising the question of why Ellen would go to such lengths to silence her. Anne wasn't just any actress, she was outspoken and increasingly willing to reveal behind-the-scenes truths, with some suggesting she knew too much about Sean Combs.
Into the Ellen moment of my understanding. And
we're talking about Ellen?
Yes, apparently she has gone off to Africa to join her gorillas in a peaceful retreat. So now, here's the thing about
her show
that.
is off. Do you know that much pop culture?
I did know, but what I'm feeling is that finally she's enough away that I'm starting to be able to breathe again.
Really?
It's like it's like fresh air a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think that's another show. But I have to say, there is a moment that I feel like, well, you know what I feel like with Ellen in Africa? I feel like a little bit like a new man.
That is definitely a soundbite.
That's why I wrote it.
But okay, we're going to talk about this, I guess. So,
well, I mean, I don't know what else to talk about. The fact of the matter is, every single person wants to know what I'm thinking about
people
Ellen
are
in this
asking
time.
all the time, and we're always not
like,
saying anything. So we're going to say something. It looks like.
All right. Well, what are you going to
Let's go.
say?
Well, I mean,
I'm glad she's in Africa.
I'm going to say that her show is off the air, and we're finding now people coming to us, and we're getting information about how she blocked you in ways that we had no idea.
Oh, please extrapolate.
Well, we have friends that are coming forward. What we're finding is that show was held over apparently your head as a tool that, you know, for going out. If you're on a show, if you're in a film, they got to go through the Ellen show to promote it. And guess what?
It's unpleasant.
Ellen blocked you from the show. And everybody knows that. So much so that friends of ours who have gone on the show have told us that they have been told specifically in the green room before they go on the show not to bring up your name.
Well, here's what's interesting, how powerful that my name will make the quake. Like our voices.
It can, actually.
Although Ellen DeGeneres has disappeared from the public eye, her old show now serves as a digital archive revealing the unsettling connections she once dismissed as harmless fun, with clips that have not aged well. In one episode featuring Sean Combs, he jokes about airing Ellen's tape, and for a moment her demeanor changes. Her smile fades, posture stiffens, and eyes shift, signals that went unnoticed at the time. Now, looking back, it's clear the small hints were part of a larger pattern, including private invitations to exclusive parties, the so-called freak-offs, as insiders like Jaguar Wright and Gandil have warned about for years, exposing the deeper power dynamics at play.
Are you going to try to be early?
Yes, I'm trying to be early.
Are you going to be early for my party?
Yes, I am. No. You know I have to arrive fashionably late.
All right. Not too late, though.
Not too late?
Not too late, please.
What time would you like me there?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But not too late. Because, you know, once you get there, the party really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I promise you I'm not going to let you down on this big one.
All right,
For
good.
real.
Good.
Your shoes, your feet are going to have blisters. You're going to be dancing so hard.
I can't wait.
Swear to God, guys, you can't make this shit up. Ellen DeGeneres at the P. Diddy parties. Have you heard about it? Have you heard of the cream corn? Yeah, creamed corn, right? Mother would make it for me at nighttime when I was younger. Michael, we're gonna have creamed corn for dinner with meatloaf.
Ma, the meatloaf! Fuck!
If you make eye contact with this bitch, she will fuck you up. Now, I'm talking about Ellen DeGeneres, guys. Did you hear about this? Apparently at the Diddy parties. Now, this is new. But my God, with everything with the baby oil and Steve Harvey, man. Steve fucking Harvey, I love that guy. But my fucking God, they are all demonic in some fucking way, I guess. Ellen DeGeneres.
I drank those lemons. She gave me the fresh lemon. Ellen, those lemons you gave me are great. They make me pissed, but oh, shit.
Would force you to lie naked on saran wrap, and she would pour buckets and buckets of creamed corn on you and tell you to roll around naked with creamed corn all over your body. Ellen, what kind of a sick bitch would do that?
Do you remember the episode when Ellen DeGeneres called out, "Diddy, come on out," and Sean Combs danced onto the stage in front of a group of unsuspecting children, framed at the time as lighthearted daytime TV? Looking back now, the scene feels very different, with Diddy at the center of serious allegations and Ellen laughing it off as if it were all just fun and games. While Ellen DeGeneres may have left the country, she's not the only one avoiding attention. Jay-Z, once openly close with Sean Combs, is now conspicuously quiet. Gandil, who's been around since the early days, recalls the two operating like brothers behind closed doors, attending parties, studio sessions, and business dealings together. Yet Jay-Z's name only surfaced publicly in connection with a lawsuit, with no commentary before or after, suggesting that his silence may be more about protecting his family, Blue Ivy Carter and the twins, than guilt.
Diddy, from your point of view, was they really friends or not?
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball, they wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it, but I don't know what kind of half a homo that is, and you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? He'd be like, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? So, I guess that's a certain type of closeness.
I didn't know anything about that, man. I didn't know about, Jay touching his, so I gotta go see the video. I ain't hear it.
Come on, man. Everybody's seen that. 50 even pointed it out. Excuse me. When they was in ATL on stage. Remember when 50 bum rushed the stage with them?
Yeah, I think I recall that.
When Puff came on stage, first thing he did was pat Jay-Z on that. But I forgot. That's your favorite rapper.
Him and Pockets 1A, 1B. But what's your issue with Jay, man? I didn't know you had an issue with him.
I'm never a fan of somebody that I was gonna knock out. And then we was at the, it was me, him, Ashley Kushner, Puff and them. We was all at the next game together. And he didn't even remember none of it. And I don't expect him to remember, but I remember. You understand? And he told Puff, he said, yo, Puff, yo, I heard about that Gene right there. That Gene got a million left. Oh, he said, that Gene a knocking out. Then he gonna come up to me and say, man, you look like, man, you a turn ass up. And I said to himself, I said, yo, no Diddy. Pause. Whatever. I said, he don't even remember. I was about to knock him the F out. He didn't even remember. He said to me, it was to Laura. That's how these guys are, man. They'll cause situations and cause problems, and then they'll forget what they done because they on a whole nother atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit that he did, you gotta understand, like now he'll say that they're kids because he's raising kids of his own. You understand? But how would you like it that if Blue Ivory, 15, 16 years old, 17, 18 years old, dating in his early 30s? You're not going to go for that. No matter what she came through in Hollywood. But you got to understand, guys who was around there, we didn't know Jay-Z them ages. We didn't know these cats' age. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't having no beards and nothing like that. They was wearing low cuts. You understand? Clean face. I would have never believed when Jay was coming around the block, scooping up the young girls and stuff like that he was 30 years old. If they 17, 18, 16 years old, and they 22, you thinking they 22, 23, something like that, 24 years old? They mom and them need to check, and they daddy and them need to check. But that's not that far off. But for somebody to be 30 years old in their 30s, and they dealing with kids 16 years old, 17, 18 years, That's a problem.
When it comes to Jay-Z, Gandeal didn't hold back, revealing that only Sean Combs is allowed to call him Sean, not Beyonce, not industry executives, not even his old crew, casting doubt on claims by Jay's lawyers that they aren't friends, which now seems like damage control. Gandeal also emphasized that many big names are going into hiding not just out of fear of exposure, but to protect their carefully crafted brands. Celebrities like Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Elle have spent decades building family-friendly, profitable images, and any association with a scandal tied to Diddy could jeopardize partnerships, public trust, and their entire empires.
They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support them, because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z, we the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there and denounce what he did, or come forward and say, I support him.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Nobody haven't came out to support him, man. Not one person outside of Stevie J.
Stevie don't count, bro.
According to Gandeal, the situation goes much deeper, claiming that Sean Combs possesses tapes featuring some of the biggest industry names, including Meek Mill, Will Smith, and Justin Bieber, all of whom have had ties to Diddy over the years and could potentially face court with concrete evidence. The pressing question is whether they will appear or remain silent like others, though Gandeal believes that if the tapes are genuine and submitted as evidence, staying quiet won't be sustainable. Yet given the stakes, brands, endorsements, reputations, and families, it wouldn't be surprising if they continue avoiding the spotlight as long as possible.
Chick that's being shopped around, a Diddy and another male. They say the other male is an A-list celebrity.
I would wonder if he's white or black. And if I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, there's only one that I could come up with, and there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith, he's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business? There's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy. That's black. That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that black, that Rat Pack. And I don't want to even say their names, but they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner? What's the other guy? Leonardo? Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats. But I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him. And him doing some things with some other people. So there's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing. And I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they really true. Because if they got if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be real crazy. And they're gonna have to bring that to forefront because the prosecutor's gonna want those tapes. And they're gonna do whatever they have to do legally to get those tapes. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. So we just better hope for his sake, that's just a bunch of bull crap. But then there's lawyers out there saying, yeah, the tape does exist. Lawyers got on television to say the tapes exist. I don't really know or trust that, because they was trying to say he had a tape with one of the bodyguards and this lady that came out. So we don't know what to think until we actually see that, and we get that version. You remember we had that bootleg version of R. Kelly tape?
Yeah, I remember that.
They don't even bootleg. Yo, they don't even bootleg no more, man. So it's going to be hard to figure it out if it does exist.
Do you believe the guy in the tape is white?
If he's bigger than Diddy and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be you. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber. Allegedly. I don't know, bro.
Right. But when you heard the news that Diddy, he had a tape with another man, did that catch you by surprise or not?
Well, all this shit is by surprise to me. A lot of this shit is by surprise to me, to be totally honest, man. Because I knew Puff, I knew Puff Daddy, I knew Diddy before he was Love and Brother.
Here's the catch. Every time someone tries to expose Sean Combs, there's a price to pay, and for Gandil, it became real during the trial when an altercation led to him being banned from the courtroom, removing one of the few voices delivering unfiltered updates. This raises questions about whether the ban was coincidental or a calculated move by some celebrities to silence him, since when power and secrets are at stake, shutting down truth tellers is often the first step, and the timing certainly suggests it may have been designed to stop Gandil from exposing them.
You got into an altercation up there. Like, what's the backstory behind that before we get into everything else?
I wouldn't call it an altercation, you know what I'm saying? Because that means somebody is capable of challenging you on your level. What happened is that you get these YouTubers, you know what I'm saying, who want to make contact with you by yelling, screaming, and hollering, and thinking that you gotta answer their questions. And they talking to a grown-ass man like he's some kind of child or hollering at some kind of animal. See, I come to that court because I'm trying to see this thing through. You know, I don't care what nobody say. I'm the one who initiated this whole thing and started talking about this dude's behavior, his attitude, how he was treating people, what he was doing, way before any of his employees, way before anything. I took all the ridicule, you know, from everybody. You know what I'm saying? If you was watching the internet when I first got on here, they was talking about, yo, this bum ass, ex-bodyguard, I didn't have this and I didn't have that. I didn't do this and I didn't do that. But then when the facts started coming out that I was a New York State parole officer with my college degree, had my own house, own apartment, was given another house by my family, and they started seeing that I was one of the leaders and the founders of the same gang, which Puff came out of. You know, I helped and I started Slicking the Family. You know what I'm saying? All these are Harlem crews, and they start seeing that the real people that was in New York City was like, yo, Gene was the man. Gene is this. You know what I'm saying? And they was wondering why I got on the internet. But I was given something to do, man. I don't care what nobody say. So I go to that court to see it through. You understand? I go to that court to make sure that I'm going to see the people that I love who got hurt behind this dude, that we get justice. And I just want to be there to see it. I didn't come there for somebody to be calling me out my name, talking all that, saying things that's irate. Yo, listen here, I'm a grown ass man. I raised 3 girls to be adults. I raised somebody else's sons to be adult men. You understand what I'm saying? So that makes me grown. I've raised people to be adults. I've helped people with their kids for them to become adults. So I'm a grown ass man and I don't need anybody. You just can't talk to me any kind of way or say whatever you want to say. Because then when we see each other, then express yourself as a man. So here this dude hollering, saying all kind of epithets, saying all kind of belligerent curse words, saying all kind of shit to me. And I'm like this. I'm like, yo, I played it cool when we was outside. Then when we got into the court, it was a whole different situation. You understand? It was a whole different situation. I went to him, I said, yo, bro, you had a lot of stuff to say outside. You understand? Yo, I got a lot of stuff to say now. That's what he said. I said, oh, what you got to say then? He said, yo, you got questions to answer. For who? I said, if you want me to answer questions, do an interview. I got a booking number, then you do an interview. I answer any of your questions. I ain't got no problem of answering anything that you want to know. All you got to do is pay my fee and I'll be there. He said, well, you ain't gonna tell me how to get the contact. And as soon as he said that, and he came like he was coming close to me, I took it back to 92. Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And that's all I'm gonna say. I took it back to that. I took it back to 1992 Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And he know what I'm talking about. Then when I did that, then next thing you know, a girl came, the guards started coming and stuff like that. And he told the guards, yo, watch the camera. He hit me. That's what he said to the guard. So one guard was like this. One guard got in front of me and I moved. He said, yo, Gene. He said, yo, Gene, he know me. He said, yo, Gene, you could just knock me down, bro. Just take a couple of days and get up out of here. So I was leaving. So he ran and got his camera. And then somebody called my name. He called my name like that. I turned around and I just said to him, I said, yo, bro, I'm not that dude that you could just run up on. I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say. I'm a grown ass man. You understand? I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say to. Because if you run up on me, I'm going to knock you the F.
So what do you think? Is Ellen DeGeneres really in hiding because of Sean Combs? And was Gandeal's silence to prevent the truth from coming out? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe to stay updated on new content. And until then, keep it real.